Okay, here we are on the Warhammer Community preview, the online preview, which shows us all the new releases which are coming up and is absolutely replete with exciting articles. I've had 2 or 3 days now to look at what I'm going to show you, and I've also read literally hundreds of comments on social media about this. But before we start talking about it, let's actually see what it is and see why the Palatine model and the Paragon Warsuit in particular is causing such a stir.
God Emperor, hear our prayer. Watch over us as we prepare for battle. Though we are few and our enemies many, we shall not falter. By your grace, we will shatter the mutant, the heretic, the Xenos. By your grace, we will cleanse every dark corner of the stars. Grant us the gift of your wrath. God Emperor, hear our prayer.
So there we are, and for Sisters of Battle players, they may indeed think that their prayers have been answered. But what is causing so much controversy is not that absolutely masterfully put together piece of promotion by Games Workshop, which absolutely brilliantly fuses the images of the Gothic with the whole monastic, nun-oriented vibe, and the Joan of Arc meme, which actually runs through the entire Sisters of Battle range. Now, what's causing such controversy, which I fail to understand, is the design of the Palatine suit itself. I mean, I've seen some absolutely ludicrous comments, including and not limited to, well, nobody would go into battle without wearing a helmet. What's the point of wearing an armoured suit, a fantastic piece of mecha, and having your head exposed? Well, I don't know where these people have been, but the tradition in Games Workshop has always been that characters have gone into battle bareheaded, whether these are Primarchs, captains or sergeants in the Imperial Guard. And if you actually looked at the rest of the video, you would have seen that the majority of these suit wearers are actually wearing helmets, as would be expected of any troops or rank and file. The other comment which I found somewhat perturbing is people commenting on the thinness of the legs. I mean, this simply shows a disregard for the painstaking work that Games Workshop put into the design. What they're trying to do is to market a range not only to those male wargamers who have got into Sisters of Battle for whatever reason, because they don't want to do Space Marines perhaps, because it's too ordinary and predictable. What they've done is they've created a much more feminine aesthetic to appeal to female gamers. I mean, that's quite obvious and quite simple. So the reason they don't have massive chunky legs like a typical dreadnought, or indeed try to reproduce a version of the Primaris dreadnought, the Invictus suit, and just put a female head on it, is because they don't want to. They don't want to have another male figure range which has been very artlessly adapted to the female figure. They want a feminine range for a feminine market that reproduces and embellishes the feminine aesthetic. I mean, that's clear, and that's what they've done. I mean, if I can use my cursor here, you can see that the legs are thinner because they are more feminine. And people have said things on Facebook in particular. I've seen about 10 individual comments saying things along the lines of, why didn't they just put them in Terminator suits? I mean, these comments are risible. The reason they didn't put them into Terminator suits is because they're not Terminators. Even within the Astartes themselves, not every single Marine is up to wearing Terminator armour. That's why we have a first company of absolute elites. So these 5'3" to 5'4" frail feminine girls, even raised within the harsh environs that they are raised, along with those who are going to become judges or street judges, like the ones on Necromunda, or who are going to go into the elite fighting arm of the Imperial Guard. These people are still essentially very small and not particularly physically strong girls, even though they have been raised within the Schola Progenium. It's a harsh training regime, and it makes them very, very tough, but it does not turn them into Space Marines. I don't want to sound too invective. People are very welcome to their own opinions, of course they are. But it's like there's this fanboy base within the Games Workshop hobby that can only see everything from within the lens of the Space Marine. I mean, if it doesn't look like a Space Marine, it's not a real figure. I don't get it. These are absolutely superb. They are a counterpoint to the male-oriented Space Marine collecting hobby. They're the feminine version, and I absolutely love them. People don't like the sword. The sword is too big. The sword's at the wrong angle. Oh, come on, people. Get over yourselves. It's brilliant. You've got the stylized fleur-de-lis here, 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 and here. It's absolutely wonderful. You've got the winged figure that represents everything aquiline to do with the Imperium. And you've got that Joan of Arc French peak haircut, which ties in with the rest of the Sisters of Battle range. It's a brilliant piece of design. I love it. I'm going to buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But please, try and have an open mind and try and appreciate what Games Workshop have actually done. So recently, we've looked at some other Games Workshop figures coming out. We've seen the Palatine model, which is all part of the overall Sisters of Battle offer. That's this figure here. I don't know if it's ever going to come into any kind of clarity. There we are. I mean, look at that for an action pose. She's got the stylized Catholic rosary, which is now the Imperial rosary. She's got a plasma pistol. She's got a nice angry expression, and there's the fleur-de-lis again on the hairband. I mean, the design ethic for Games Workshop. I don't like everything about Games Workshop. I don't like everything that they do, but I do think the Sisters of Battle range is really, really coming together with a very, very, very tight design model. And how they do or don't perform on the battlefield or in the gaming arena doesn't really concern me. As a piece of modelling, I think it's absolutely divine. And I think as the new figures come out, you'll see that the whole range will be much more female, much more feminine, and they won't have to fall back on the masculine tropes, the male preachers from the Adeptus Ministorum, the male bodyguards, the inquisitors that they were always accompanied by. We're going to be seeing a 100% female range, with the canonesses, the saints, the living saints like Celestine, the big hitters, and some really, really, really good troops. I think it's a great range. I don't want to come over too fanboyish. I'm quite prepared to be ultra critical about Games Workshop when I want to be. And then of course we've got something else to talk about to close this very short video, praising what Games Workshop have done this time round, and that's the Pleasure and Pain video. So I would encourage you not only to stay tuned to the Rule of Cool channel, where we will talk frankly and honestly about everything that comes out, but also the Warhammer community podcasts and the website. And I'm just going to close because I really do think they're doing some great work here with this range. Space nuns they may be, but I'm really happy, and I'm really excited about what's coming out in these models. So which shall I close on? I'll close on the Palatine. I love it. I'm going to be buying it, and I'm going to talk about the Sisters of Battles range more when the whole thing starts to unveil as 2021 goes on. It really does look like 2021 is going to be the year of the Sisters of Battle. I'm tempted to say hallelujah. It wouldn't be appropriate, but it's going to be a great range, and I'm going to be investing heavily in this. I love it. Okay, over and out, and see you soon.